All right, good evening and welcome to the new Epic Table. Joining me is my brother Matt here. Matt, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Bicoy.
What's your status?
What's my status? Status is single.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means anymore.
Yeah,
People,
what is
what's
your status?
Like, is that a thing?
Yeah,
My
That-
status
that's,
is
that's a thing. That's what
I
people
guess.
ask. Okay.
middle class.
unlike
Middle class.
Middle class.
Or lower middle class.
And then over to my other side, we have our brother Ryan.
My name is Ryan Fielding. Yeah,
What's your status?
I'm single. I am painfully single.
It's Malcolm Zara from Epic Ministry, and I am happily married. Been married for
There we go.
going on 3 years. How you guys laughing for? 3 years. We
Cut the
just
silence.
celebrated the 2-month mark of our first child, our daughter Kyla.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
And tonight we're going to be talking about intentional Christian dating. So the topic for this evening, if it's morning, wherever you're watching, doesn't matter. But our topic for discussion at the table is intentional Christian dating. So let's start with this. Earlier we asked what's your status, but let's go around. What's your status, and are you happy with it currently?
Ooh.
Yes. Happy to be single. Does that mean I want to stay single? No.
Oh, there you go.
No.
There you go.
But you gotta be happy. You gotta be happy where you're at. That's one thing I'm learning. You gotta be happy and trust in God.
Amen.
Anything more than like just single status? Like, I feel like there's always different ways. I don't know, different places that people are when they're single.
Yep.
So where are you at? Where are you at right now? You trying to look
Oh.
for some, like actively looking for someone?
Basically,
or
I
just-
think I get you, Ryan. You're going. Are you dating?
Yeah.
There we go. There's the question. Because then you can be single and not dating, right? You can be, hey, I'm single. I'm fine. I'm not looking to date. Or it can be, I'm single. Yeah, I'm looking to date. So for me, the answer to the question is, no, I'm dating. Yeah, I'm dating. Hey, who doesn't like to take a girl out on a date? That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good time. And you get to know a girl. Maybe you guys hit it off. Maybe you guys get to go on a second and third and you just hit it off. Maybe not. But you gotta at least take the girl on a date. You're not gonna know from just, I don't know. You're not gonna know from just her Instagram or for Facebook or from just texting. No. You gotta, at least for me, you gotta sit with her in person. You gotta talk to her, have that personal
Yeah, for sure.
interaction.
There we
So
go.
I don't even know if that answered the question. That was
There we
long,
go.
but
No, yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I guess for me, yeah, I'm single. I'm single. I said painfully single earlier, but I mean, I think I'm enjoying my time being single. That doesn't mean I'm not actively trying to do anything, but I'm definitely dating. I feel like I'm fairly new to the dating game.
Happily dating or
Yeah?
it?
No.
this man is remind the audience of where in life you're at. What are
Oh,
you
for
at?
sure.
Like
I
where are you
am-
currently? You're about to fly somewhere tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm about to fly back to Oregon tomorrow to begin my senior year, my 4th year at Oregon State University. So yeah, that's been a challenge, kind of going back and forth from Hawaii and Oregon, and trying to meet people in both places.
On the bright side, Ryan, and hold on to this little nugget of, on the bright side,
Let's
my
hear it,
friend,
let's
you are
hear it.
going into a target-rich environment. Okay, we all know. We were all in college at one point. At least Malcolm and I can attest to this. Target-rich environment, my friends. So thank
For
the Lord
sure,
above
for
that you
sure.
are. Thank the Lord
I
above that
mean-
you are that you are good. You'll be fine.
Target-rich environment, but also, I don't know, like now that I'm way more involved with like just the church and kind of actively trying to live out a Christian lifestyle, I feel like it's hard to date in a Christian style while you're in college. But before we get into that,
No,
Malcolm.
that's actually it's super interesting
Oh,
because
there
I
you
was just gonna say that target rich environment is college is probably one of your best and only chances where you're going to have access and options to so many other people.
Yeah.
Right when you're
Yeah,
kind of
just
looking
think
back
about
on it, I'm not in college anymore, but I'm like looking back to those. And how often are you around thousands of other peers on a constant basis? So it's that window to start dating in college that makes it so essential to really think about, hey, you know, maybe I should be doing this right now. You know, again, maybe the world has changed, but there's so many people even on like the older young adult level or the past college that I feel like they just didn't go on dates when they were in college or even in high school or all that kind of stuff. And now it like really sucks for them because they're always saying the same thing. When am I gonna find somebody? You know, there's so many not miserable, but really people, young adults that are really down on themselves because they have no options. Like I go to church all the time. There's nobody there. I mean, you're not gonna find someone at a family gathering, right? Because that's just weird. but
Nope.
you know, like there's just no. They don't have any opportunities. Like, what do people say now? Go to the gym, or go to church. Go join a book club or something
I
like
don't want
that.
to go to church. That's another topic for another day. There's not a lot of single young Catholic women at the parishes that I'm at, but
Well, to piggyback on both what Malcolm and Ryan just said. On what Malcolm said, the scary thing, or maybe for a good thing, I don't know. Maybe it's another topic from the podcast. But where do people go? You saying nowadays? Dating apps. They go to Tinder. They go to Bumble. They go to eHarmony, Catholic Christian Mingle, whatever dating app is out there. That's a lot of time where they're going. So that, and I think I've had this conversation with you before, Malcolm. Is like, hey, what's the Catholic approach to dating apps? Does it become just, hey, I'm objectifying this girl now by swiping left, swiping right? Now I'm losing the spirit of it. I'm just objectifying women now. Hey, is this like maybe this is an example of that you kind of hear this analogy or this quote story thrown on of that guy that asked for God to help him, and he's in a storm, and he's on the top of a building, and a boat drives by, and he's like, hey, come hop on, we'll save you. And he's like, no, God will save me. Like that story, I think you guys have heard that.
yeah.
Is that example of all the single people out there that are praying, God, please guide me to that, or help me find a wife or a husband if you're a girl, find that husband or whatever. And God's like, well, I'm sending you some dating apps to use, and so again, that could be another topic. Is like, what's the Catholic approach to dating app? Is it good to use? Is it healthy to use? Is it not good to use? Should we stay away from it and try to meet someone organically? So that's one thing. And then on what you, Ryan, said, I'll share with you a quote that I have firmly stuck with me. I knew a priest in Sacred Heart's priest, great guy, hilarious guy, and he told me one thing. He said, hey, Matt, I'll show you something you my dad told me. He said, if you want to meet a woman or a lady, go to the bar. If you want to meet your wife, go to church.
Shoot.
So,
Okay, Ryan, going back. So you said, but all that being said, though, your response to it was something similar to that we hear a lot, right? I do go to church, but there's nobody there. Say more on that.
I don't know. And maybe I'm just at the wrong parishes. Maybe I'm at the wrong places.
wrong math time.
I'm at the wrong mass time, but they're just I don't know. There's just no one around. So it's like, do I need to go to a different parish? I don't know. Plus, I mean, it's also a little awkward because my parents are there too. I don't want to start hitting someone up and my dad's standing right next to me waiting for me to go home to go get some lunch.
Yeah, but what about when you up in college though?
Up in Oregon, I think I know everyone at the Newman Center over there, and I think all the people that I would be interested in, I think I've already shot my shot. So
Still, there's an intentionality to that, right?
yeah.
Like, okay.
So I think that's at least for now, maybe a dry well.
Okay. What? No, okay. This is not a knock on you.
For
You
sure.
said all the girls that you felt were eligible or that you were
Yeah.
interested in, you already shot your shot. Why wasn't it working?
Why wasn't it working? I don't know. It just that's a very good question. Why wasn't it working?
He's
He's
like,
like-
you want to succeed.
He's like, if I knew the answer, I wouldn't have
Why wasn't it
it
working?
wouldn't have failed.
Why do you think there was no response to it? You feel?
A lot of just where we are in our lives, I think, especially around like kind of Catholic, like young, like Newman centers and Catholic young adult groups like that. We're kind of in an interesting place in our lives, so it's like some of them maybe just they're more worried about starting their careers. They're more worried about okay, but now it's not really a secure place in my life. I'm about to graduate.
ready.
I'm gonna go and do whatever I'm gonna do right after graduation. So it's just they're not maybe in an opportune place to really start anything, and then the ones that maybe are, it's just go on a date and it's not really working out, not really vibing.
No connection.
Yeah,
No chemistry.
no, not yet.
Matt, what about you? How has your dating experience been going so far?
Shoot, my dating right now, it's tricky. It's challenging, yeah, but it's good. Yeah, I feel like in fact, hopefully I can take a girl. Hopefully I can. There's one girl I want to ask out.
Oh shoot!
Hopefully I can ask her out this Saturday.
Oh,
I'm
there
gonna
we
hang out
go.
with her this Saturday. Hopefully I can ask her out on Saturday.
There we go.
Ask her out. Hey, ask her out to dinner. Just ask her on a date. But anyway, so it is tricky. I'll be honest with you. It is tricky. And when I refer to the dating apps, like I'll be honest, I'm pretty hesitant towards the dating apps, and
Yeah.
not against them completely, just hesitant. Like, first of all, anyone who's been on dating apps, there's a lot of weirdos on there. I'm just gonna show you a lot of what the heck. So it's tricky. It's definitely tricky. Maybe we've had conversations about this. You're like, man, I'm glad I'm not dating now, right? I've heard people say that, like my friends that are married, like, I'm glad I'm not dating now, yeah, because it's kind of hard now. But yeah, just because it's hard. One of the last thing, just because it's hard, it's not. I'm gonna say, if you try to keep God first in your life, then hey, regardless if it's hard or easy, target rich environment, not target rich environment, He'll guide you to that woman, or if you're a girl, to that man.
It's interesting when we talk about it, especially in a Christian context, right? It's you got to put God first in your relationships. You got to put God first when it comes to dating. I think people say that, but they're not really following that up with what God actually intends for us in relationships and with dating, which is, going back to that word, that intentionality behind it. Is when it means when we put God first in our relationship, it doesn't mean that, okay, we're going to put this idea of God between us and everything will be all right. No, it's always paired with actionable steps, right? You have a purpose behind dating, behind the relationship. The purpose of the relationship is to teach us how to love, how to be in communion with one another, right? It's a bond that we're forming. So when we say we put God first in that, we're saying that we're going to agree to participate in this co-creation with our Lord, right? With what God likes and loves himself. And when it comes to a relationship, in order for it to be considered as intentional, even intentional dating, it's you are putting love first in the sense that I want what's best for you as you will want what's best for me. When it comes to the dating relationship, I think that's why it's so tricky nowadays, especially when it comes to online dating, especially in a target-rich environment where you got a bunch of young adults that are trying to figure out their life. They're always putting this massive emphasis on, I don't think I'm quite ready for that just yet. Let me work on something else. But already in that sense, it's not intentional because you're not thinking about anybody else other than you. There's a selfish desire there. Although it might not necessarily be bad. Like, for example, it's good to focus on your career. It's good to focus on your studies, and you want to be distracted by anything else. But really, at the end of the day, it's beyond the degree, beyond the material stuff that you're trying to build, or even the fame and the career. It's at the end of the day, we are always going to be defined in relation to somebody else. Right? So that skill ought to be practiced more. And I think we all agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that I'm trying to practice this so I could end up finding my wife. Not quite yet. It's I'm going to practice dating with this intentionality of wanting to grow in my love and in my relationship with others. That's going to make all the difference beyond just whatever else you can think of to do in college, right?
Yeah.
And it sets you up for life, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say.
For sure. Well, then tell us, as the only married man here,
Yeah.
kind of what was it like? I guess trying to like meeting your wife and then kind of trying to go about that like intentionality.
Oh, I most definitely was not doing intentional dating. But I mean, you kind of just, you grow into it, and then when you discern that, and I think that's where, when people ask, how do you know if you found the one? That's kind of where you make a decision, and you're like, not so much that I found the perfect person, right? But rather, I'm ready to love this person as perfectly as I can. Right? That's the decision that you make. So like going back to it, and it sounds maybe a little hypocritical here, but it's no, I wasn't making all the right moves, but somehow along the road, I made a couple right ones, and that was really the intention behind that. And then you just kind of build it from there. I'm not an expert at dating by any means, but I like to think I succeeded.
Exactly.
Yeah, and obviously you did. You have a wife and a kid now.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah. That's why if we're gonna have something topic like this on dating, I'm glad we at least have one married man, one guy that made it, one guy that got the mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Right. And then a harder mission comes after that.
Yes.
Well, that's
Oh,
a
for
topic
sure.
for a different table session. So I want to thank you guys for joining this evening,
Yeah.
and we'll look
Thank
forward
you.
to the next time.
Thanks.
Amen.
Thanks for having
Thank you,
us.
Malcolm. Thank you.
Amen.